Hello, interwebs. Mrs. Coconut here. So clearly this is not Space Coconut. He has a throat thing going on, so you get to listen to his wife read the script for today. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Okay, so today we're going to offer up a little advice to new players of VHS, particularly those of you coming from Dead by Daylight. I'm going to be referencing one particular DbD streamer with 4K hours, but I don't want anyone to think that I'm making fun of this person in any way. I'm simply going to point out how this player thinks and what they do while playing the game that hurts their effectiveness. In addition, I'm going to touch on something Laffin said during a match that mirrors this DbD thinking, because as much as I wish it weren't true, there are a lot of DbD players who won't like VHS, because the gameplay is not like playing DbD, which, if I'm being honest with you, might be a good thing. Mrs. Coconut. I'm going to break this video up into a few sections. First will be Sinnoh's issues with the game, and a short debate countering the issue. Second will be explanations of what he did wrong in different situations that contributed to his frustration. And third will be some closing thoughts. So Sinnoh Beat streamed his second time playing VHS about a week ago, and it went about as well as my first week did. His first reaction to losing the fights he lost was to immediately blame the mechanics. His biggest point of contention was the slowdown while you're being hit with a weapon.
I think like 90% of my issues with being killer in this game would be solved if they just made the speed debuff when you start to get hit a lot less. That's my biggest complaint about this game, is that it's too easy for somebody with a ranged weapon to turn around and start hitting me and I slow to a crawl. I shouldn't be like this close to someone and they start hitting me with a ranged weapon and I lose the exchange one-on-one. You shouldn't be able to turn around in my face with a gun and go like that and I can't hit you and then you win. So that's like my biggest complaint as Monster. I think if they got rid of that, it would solve so many of the issues that you're seeing from me at the moment. It really would. Because I know that the weapons seem a bit ridiculous, but the reason why the weapons seem so ridiculous is the minute they start hitting me, I get really slow. But I understand there's a problem with, like, how would you be able to hit monsters reliably with certain weapons if they didn't get slowed down? But I just don't, I think it's too much. I don't think you should be able to turn around in my face with a ray gun and go like that and win as a 1v1. It's too exploitable. If I'm running at someone and I'm quite close to them in the corridor and one person, not a team, one person could turn around in my face and start shooting me and they win, they've won a 1v1 against me where I should have been rewarded. Like, if I was at the other end of a corridor, yeah. If they had a gun and they were shooting at me down a corridor and they hit me enough times, that's fine. But how many times have you seen me be like this close to someone and then they start hitting me with a weapon and I can't reach them in time? And that's a problem, because it means they're stronger than me. And the minute they start hitting me, I immediately slow down, like 90% slow. And that's my biggest complaint. I think if they reduce the slow so that they get punished for trying to just blast me in the face, I think the game would be a lot better. But they're not spacing themselves correctly. Like, I'm right beside people and they're still hitting me. Like, I shouldn't pop out in someone's face and then they hold up a holy weapon and I can't move and then they win. The game should punish you for that.
From a DbD killer mindset, nothing should be able to slow down the monster from being able to hit a survivor that's right in front of you because they can't fight back. They can only stall and delay the killer while the rest of the team does gents. The idea of face-tanking a weapon because you're an unstoppable monster should be scrubbed from your game plan unless you are Wart with armor ready. It's very important to remember that these are two different games that play very differently, and the skills you learned in DbD don't transfer well here. But let's look at a few of these situations to see what the actual problem is.
I think she went outside, I don't think she went down, but oh no. Oh, she's right in my face! Come on, she's right in my fucking face! Oh, God. So much for being enraged and in hunting mode.
Do you see the problem? He swings early. If you're being damaged with a weapon, you have one chance to swing. After that swing cooldown kicks in and you can't do anything. It takes a bit of practice once you realize this to break out of the habit of immediately swinging. The teens in these clips did what a single teen with a weapon can do with no team to back them up. Ambush the monster. Each time, the teen took him by surprise and scored a hit. It's a very easy solution and one that you'll need to be aware of if you think you should be winning those face-to-face 1v1s, which you should be. Stemming from this frustration was the misconception that Monster is the power role in VHS.
The survivors fight back. No, they do more than fight back. The survivors are the hunters. I'm the prey. I feel like my gameplay loop at the moment as the killer is what it should be like as a survivor. Like, the survivor role should feel like what I feel like at the moment. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, the survivors are the ones that should be, like, scared of seeing me and have to, like, pop out and take their shot and then run away again. But instead, I'm the one that has to, like, keep hiding and running. And they're the ones that are, like, just walking through the map trying to find me. Because they don't have any fear, right? Because they all have weapons and shit. I think it's bad. I think it's bad game design. Because I spend most of the game feeling like I'm the one being hunted. That's the problem. It doesn't deliver the fantasy of the 4v1 correctly. Because most of the time, I'm scared of them hitting me with weapons. So that's inverse. That doesn't make sense. They should have to, like, plan ahead for a good hit and run on me. But instead, I'm the one that has to try and hide around corners and hope that they can't hit me a lot. So it's inverted. Too much. Too much in my opinion.
There are two power roles in VHS. The monster versus unarmed teens, and teens with weapons. This creates the shifting power struggle during a match that many players enjoy. Myself as a monster player enjoy outplaying teens with weapons because it's a matter of making them waste ammo or make a bad move while I'm being careful of ambushes. If I make them waste their ammo or make a bad move, then I've successfully outplayed the teens and can continue to dominate the match or come back from a near loss. This is an extremely satisfying way to play. However, some people don't want to play carefully.
I don't want to play a game that has unless the game is immersive, pulling me in with a great ass experience. I don't want to spend 45 minutes in a round. Because I have to sit around and play super defensive, cowardly killer until I can get an opening to get a hit in. Like, holy shit. Shouldn't be like that. Like, the game punishes you for playing aggressively. I want you to play cowardly. I don't feel like playing cowardly.
This methodical aspect of a match may not suit every player who wants to simply bulldoze through the teens ranking up XP with little thought to the strategic nature of some situations. But it's a matter of deal with it, because the shifting power struggle is a core aspect of this game. After you hit a teen, you can't see where they go. You have to listen for them, and your opportunity to follow them up is very limited by the pools of aberration that are left behind as they move, and they last a very short time. Sinnoh was having trouble tracking them because there are no scratch marks or blood pools to help him. You have to rely on audio to track them actively, but more importantly, you need to learn how they move and how fast they move in a given situation, because the audio itself takes some getting used to, and it's kind of misleading when you're first starting out. This is basic game knowledge that Sinnoh doesn't have, but because he's a DbD main, he thinks his skills are transferable. For VHS, they're not. His next big issue is, of course, being pitted against other players that have had months of experience compared to his 2 days. I know that the devs are working on some kind of matchmaking, and of course I have no details. However, here's some data that is tracked, and if they have access to this data, they can probably make a matchmaking system that takes these stats into account. I'm not worried about it, but this game is hard for a new player, much more so than DbD. The last set of issues he has actually comes from the game knowledge that comes from playing the game. The most important thing you and Sinnoh should focus on learning are map locations and layouts. Getting through the map and knowing what paths you and the teens can take will help you make better tactical decisions. Take this clip for example.
Oh, I don't have my thing yet though. Hi, I see you. They know I'm gonna put my shield up. They know. Break your fucking weapon, break it. Go ahead and break it. Oh, fuck, I'm dead. Oh, they got me. Yeah, I forgot it from that.
He does a great job understanding the situation he's in. He successfully uses his armor to get rid of one of their weapons, but because of his lack of map knowledge, he tries to cut through the cafeteria instead of going through the hallway, separating him from the teen with the weapon. Another not so small tidbit of information is that breaking Wart's armor consumes the weapon, forcing the teen to craft a new one. You'll hear this noise, and the armor thing around the stigmas will break when it does. Each monster has 3 abilities: a travel speed ability, a defensive ability, and a tracking ability. Sinnoh's biggest problem in the matches I watched was that he wasn't actively using his abilities effectively.
Oh, so fucking knocking over boxes and shit. They still need fire. No. Not anymore, they don't.
Sinnoh lost his fire stigma because he didn't echo, which would have told him a teen was in the gym, which is also why I like the echo mutation that tells me who has a weapon and who doesn't. Using the tracking abilities will help you find teens before they can craft, but you can't rely on them to find teens for you since teens can hear when you use those abilities and can move accordingly. In other cases, his armor ability was available, or close to it, and he simply didn't think to use it, causing the loss of his stigma.
I'll read your comment in a minute after I get destroyed. Like, I'm the one that's scared here, you know what I mean?
In this instance, by using the leap to catch up to the teen, he would have gotten the hit and possibly avoided the ambush.
There you are. Oh fuck, the vault. Ugh. This is the most DbD-like map because like the vaults are very obvious. There he is. I think I could. Oh god. Well.
Use your abilities. The next issue is forgetting to use cover. While he makes hiding sound like a bad thing, using cover is essential in doing well in this game. You can avoid hits, take a moment to use your defensive ability, make them lose ammo, or even take teens by surprise if they try to chase you through a doorway.
Oh, I'm moving in a really predictable pattern here. Come on! She like just ran out and I tried to swing at her, but I'm so fucking slow the minute something hits me that I just can't.
By failing to use cover, he basically walked into Faith's sword even though he would have won that exchange because she used every swing. He could have stood behind the cover and waited for her to stop, then go in for the swing, or simply change direction once she starts swinging towards the left. Winning these exchanges can be done without the use of your defensive ability though. Each weapon has a wind-up time before it starts firing and when it finishes. You can take cover and guess they'll stop firing. Then you have about 2 seconds to attack or bait out another attack depending on which monster you're playing. Using Wart's leap with the throttle mutation makes this easy to pull off. The last and possibly most relatable issue is this.
Do I have in-game voice chat on? No, because I hate it. I don't want to talk to randos. I despise it.
By refusing to use voice chat, Sinnoh instantly gives himself a handicap because he can't coordinate with his team.
Uh-oh. See ya. Oh yeah, I should probably ping her. So that was him doing damage? Being good at DbD. No, I know that, but it does mean that I have some idea of how these games work.
During this chase, we see 2 teens with weapons nearby. They were pinging, and I bet you they were shouting at him in voice comms to bring the monster back upstairs to be ambushed. Yes, the ping system is great, and it's an invaluable tool, but he was barely using that as well because he hadn't gotten used to it yet. When you learn the game, you really should utilize voice chat. Not only will it make setting up plans easier, you can even ask questions if something doesn't make sense to you.
Sorry.
Is there any specific reason we're not killing him yet? Like, how does this go?
You need to get a good shot, because he can evade. So we need to make sure that we get a good shot.
Okay.
Armoring on him.
His armor will take... Get him.
Good job,
And
DbD.
teamwork.
This video came out to be much longer than I expected, but I suppose that just means that tutorials and explanations are going to be very important to new VHS players. I hope Sinnoh continues to play, but more importantly, I hope that he, and you, can learn from the mistakes you make, and use them to become better at VHS if you choose to. If you like this video, do the YouTube thing so you can catch more in the future. I have a gameplay channel in the description, so if you want to see simple VHS gameplay, that's what you'll find here. Let me know your thoughts, and especially your questions in the comments below, and until next time, I'm Mrs. Coconut, and you're welcome. Hey, go play Overwatch. Ba ba da da. Bow bow meow. Play more Overwatch.